18 and 26. They're a team kind of in transition. First one is a strike to Orlando Cabrera. An off day for the Rangers yesterday, trying to settle back down after all the emotion and the chaos of the Yankee series. Tommy Hunter wasn't even here for that. We're going to scout him out.
He's only had 25 minor league starts, but they've gone well. He's been in AA and AAA this year. He was the 54th pick in the 2007 draft out of the University of Alabama. Last year, he was 0-2 in 3 starts with the Rangers. He got to the big leagues quickly. He's a guy with pretty good control.
He's facing some veterans here right off the top. Orlando Cabrera and Adam Kennedy. And look out, Cabrera diving out of the way, left his bat right at the feet of the home plate umpire Brian Gorman.
Wow. Boy, he had to drop his bat just to get his hands out of the way to keep from getting hit. His last start, Tommy's last start at AAA, threw 123 pitches pitched into the 9th inning.
In the air towards right for Nelson Cruz. Now more on Tommy Hunter in just a moment. Let's first check out who's coming up there against the Rangers in Game 1. Cabrera and Kennedy will start it up for manager Bob Guerin. Jack Cust bats third after the recently acquired Adam Kennedy. Holiday, Giambi, and Suzuki, Sweeney, Buck, and Hanahan. The A's are last in the majors in slugging percentage and extra base hits. And keep in mind, they get to use the DH. You got 16 National League teams that don't. And the A's are still last when it comes to hitting the ball for power. And Adam Kennedy, who started out in spring training with the Cardinals, got released and pinballed to Tampa Bay, went to AAA with them.
Been a pretty good pickup for the A's.
He's been an amazing pickup for the A's. 26 hits his first 17 games. That's the second most hits in that amount of games to start an Oakland Athletics career. Past Tommy Hunter, and boy, he almost got the glove on it, just couldn't get it down in time.
Yeah, that was a pretty good pitch. Not hit very hard by Kennedy. Looked like he hit it right off the handle.
The only Oakland player with more hits in his first 17 ball games with the A's, would you believe, Mario Guerrero in 1978. All the A's rookies of the year, guys that debuted, even Ben Grieve didn't have the 17 games with 26 hits.
Or Reggie Jackson.
Jack Cust is the hitter. Now, Jack Cust is a guy that very simply walks a lot, strikes out a lot, and homers a lot. There are not a lot of other things that happen regarding Jack Cust. For the most part, he's been durable since coming here to Oakland, but he did miss the game that the A's played against Seattle on Wednesday. He had a sore back. There was some question as to whether or not he'd be good to go tonight, but here he is. You know, the homers or strikeouts thing has become so stark with the guy playing first base for the Rangers. We'll talk a lot throughout the broadcast about Chris Davis. There's been a lot of discussion, I guess, around the Metroplex on what do you do about Chris Davis. I mean, here's a guy that's got a dozen home runs. That's one of the top totals in the American League. But the high strikeout totals will, I guess, kind of dim your enthusiasm for the all-around season that Chris is having.
Well, I think you do exactly what the Rangers are doing. If you have a young player and you believe in that young player, and as well as Chris played last year for the Rangers and the big hits he's had and the defense he's playing, you just weather the storm and you give him an opportunity to play every day and come out of it, and believe that he will, based on the talent that he showed in the minor leagues, the talent that he showed last year, the talent that you've seen off and on this year. And you know, Chris feels a little bit lost at times. He feels badly about the strikeouts, but he's not giving up. He's going out there every day. And eventually, you have to believe that everything's going to turn around. He'll start to approach what he did last year and make better contact, raise his average, all those things.
Runner goes, no throw. That's a pretty good jump right there for Adam Kennedy. Remember, the Yankees had a game fairly recently where they stole 5 bases. And even though Saltalamacchia has been throwing guys out real well, the pitchers have to give him a chance to do that.
Yeah, when you don't even attempt to make a throw, that pretty much says all you need to know. No chance.
1-2 delivery. Hit very high towards right field. Nelson Cruz seems to have a beat on it. Under the rainbow, makes the catch. Other people besides Nelson Cruz figure to touch the baseball in this game. Here they are. Marlon Byrd in left, Josh Hamilton in center. Young, Andrews, Kinsler, and the aforementioned Chris Davis. Saltalamacchia, 23 years old, working with Hunter, who is 22. Davis is only 23. Elvis Andrews is 20. And you throw out all those 20-something numbers, you figure the Rangers would not be the team with the best record in the entire American League. But they've got that, 27-19. And as a final thought for now, anyway, tag on Chris Davis. I think that is the underwriting or overriding element here. The kid's 23 years old. And even though at 22 last year, he kind of took the league by storm. There are a lot of guys that have to make an adjustment or two when they're in the big leagues at the age of 23. And again, youth on display as Salty goes out to counsel Hunter. Matt Holliday's got the batting average up into the 270s. He was closer to 170 last time the A's played here in Arlington. Rip and a miss. To a guy that has always hit for real strong average, that with the Colorado Rockies. Roll Tide, the University of Alabama product. Tommy Hunter strikes out Holiday. No score, game 1. Rangers coming up. Doubleheader on a beautiful, although somewhat warm, late afternoon here in Arlington. 89 degrees right now. The Rangers lineup brought to you by Southwest. Kinsler and Young, Hamilton and Jones. And Andrew Jones has hit for some power in limited opportunity. Cruz and Byrd, Davis and Saltalamacchia, Elvis Andrews, the exciting young Rangers shortstop. And they're facing a guy that sounds to me, Tag, like a baseball superhero. He is Outman. He is the lefty, Josh Outman.
Well, he's been getting a lot of outs. He's been pitching well. His last 3 starts have gone really well. His ERA is under 1 in his last 3 starts. He's only given up 10 hits in 19 innings. Opponent's batting average is terrific at 212, 143 against left-hand hitters.
I have a question, though. What's with the yellow socks and the green stirrups?
Well, it's a different look.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the way the A's used to look in the old days.
I know.
But now the way the players wear their pants, most of them wear them all the way down to their shoes. And then the ones that wear their pants up, like Hanahan at third base, wear green socks all the way into their shoes. So it is an unusual look, at least in 2009. It didn't used to be unusual.
Well, the A's brought that dash of very vivid color to our landscape under Charlie O'Finley. Kelly green and Fort Knox gold. It's a more muted shade of green, however, now. Kinsler is going to take a stroll, get the Rangers going here in the first inning. These modern-day Oakland A's, again at 18 and 26, go with Holiday, Sweeney, and Buck in the outfield. Hanahan in for the always injured, it seems, Eric Chavez in third. Cabrera, Kennedy, and Giambi. Outman working with a good catcher, Kurt Suzuki. Josh Outman's an interesting story, I think, Tag. A guy out of Central Missouri State, pitched for the Mules, Division II baseball, transferring in from community college near St. Louis.
Well, he's got a good arm. His fastball is anywhere from the low 90s to the mid 90s. One of the key guys in the trade that they made for Joe Blanton with the Phillies. They got Adrian Cardenas, Matt Spencer. But Outman has worked his way from the bullpen into the rotation. 24 years old. Good arm and a nice future.
Rangers hit him around pretty good in spring training when they faced him in the middle of March. The interesting backstory about Josh Outman is that his dad wrote a book on pitching mechanics when Josh was just a kid. It was a very unique approach that his dad wrote about, instructing pitchers to have essentially no leg kick and kind of an extreme back to forward rocking motion. When Josh went away to college and into the pros, every coach he told him, or that he had, basically told him, we need to ask you to not do what your father taught you, and wrote that a whole book about. We want you to have a more conventional approach. And for the most part, that more conventional approach has served him fine. Here he is in the big leagues, like you say, Tag, at the age of 24. Young flips one to right. And Kinsler back to first.
Well, he still has remnants of what his dad taught him, especially from the stretch. If you watch him pitch with Ian on first base, very little leg kick. And I think that's one of the things that his dad had taught him, to pitch without much of a leg kick, just a little step toward the plate. And then he tucks the ball right behind his head. Doesn't have a long backward movement in his arm motion. And so there are still similarities between the way he throws now. Watch his leg kick. Just barely steps. Ball comes right from behind his head, which is somewhat similar to what his dad was teaching, at least from the stretch.
He's been real tough against lefties so far this year. 5 for 35 are opposing lefties, and Josh Hamilton, one of only 2 left-hand swingers in Ron Washington's lineup.
Well, that's a good slider right there. Good hard breaking ball. That's what the hitter gets a shot to look at. With that low leg kick, the runner at first base won't get a huge jump. He doesn't take a lot of time delivering the ball to the plate.
A little bit outside, says Brian Gorman. In a doubleheader these days, the umpire rotation gets a little bit funky. I think it's actually not a bad idea, especially in the Texas heat. But essentially, Major League Baseball sends 5 umpires. Hamilton down on strikes. Brian Gorman will work home plate and then get game 2 completely off. There's another umpire kind of waiting in the wings right now who will step in for game 2.
That's pretty much a carbon copy of the first 2 breaking balls. Good, hard, sharp breaking. Not sure whether he calls that a slider or a curveball. It's kind of in between, more of a slurve type breaking ball. But left-hand hitters have a hard time hitting the 3 that Josh just saw. Those were really good pitches. Left-hand hitters have hit 143 against him. Right-hand hitters only 233. He's featuring a 2.10 ERA in May. That's the 5th best ERA in the American League in May.
A couple of quick strikes here to Andrew Jones. And by the way, Wayne Kirby is here for tonight, coaching at first base. He's the Rangers minor league outfield / base running coordinator. Gary Pettis leaving the team for a day and a half. He's got a child graduating this weekend. So Gary heading back home to California to be there for that. One of his daughters. It was a graduation weekend for quite a few people, I would imagine, around our country.
We should wish a happy graduation to Fritz Dykert. Our producer Kurt is at the graduation today at Highland Park.
In the hole, Cabrera stopped it but couldn't actually corral it. And Andrew Jones will be safe at first with what should be an infield hit. Only the second hit that Outman's allowed to a cleanup hitter all year.
Cabrera would have had some chance at second, but with Ian running, there was a borderline chance with Ian's speed off at the crack of the bat with 2 outs. Pretty good lead. Even if he fielded it, was no guarantee he was going to get him at second base. He definitely wouldn't have got him at first base. Good opportunity for Nelly right off the bat to get the Rangers on the board.
Nelson was cooled off in that Yankee series a bit. Then again, a lot of the Rangers had the same issue. The Rangers ended up losing 2 out of 3. But they emerged from that, as we said, still with the best record in the AL. So it did not go like the Rangers wanted to. It's not like they got kicked all the way down the hill. This, by the way, is going to be a crowd that gets bigger and bigger with every passing inning. There's a big fireworks show after the end of game 2 tonight. It's a sparse crowd to begin this evening, but should be 36,000 people here by the end of game 2 for the fireworks show.
That makes 7 straight crowds of over 30,000.
Yeah, and the Rangers haven't had a stretch like that since the initial days of Alex Rodriguez to start the 2001 season. Nelson Cruz towards the alley in right center field. That ball taking off. It is going to hit that Kia Motors sign. Scoring 1, maybe 2. It is going to be 2 runs in for Texas. Cruz scrambling back to second.
Well, we'd love to see those hits with 2 outs. The kid Outman is throwing really well this month. You don't want him to get into a groove. He walked Kinsler. Jones with an infield hit. If he gets out of the inning, maybe kind of gets back in a groove and gets a little tougher as the game goes on. But Nelly Cruz made sure the Rangers get 2 in the first inning with that shot to right center field.
Nelson Cruz had about a 2-week stretch where he just kind of got out of sync. But the way he started the year and the way he's been the last week and a half now, you can see why the All-Star voters are paying attention. They've got him as one of the top 7 vote getters right now. This is a guy that was in AAA last year and, you know, could have been taken by any big league team going out of spring training.
Don't think there's a lot of teams thinking about that right now. The opportunity to get a middle of the order guy.
Yeah.
Still young with the tools that Nelly has. If you can draft one, you'll pick him high in the first round and hope he becomes what Nelly is right now.
March 29th of last year, 29 other teams could have said, yeah, we'll take us some Nelly Cruz. Nobody did.
The little slow stretch that Nelly had a while back, a lot of it, I think he got a little over anxious. He was off to a great start, and then the pitchers started throwing the ball out of the strike zone, especially breaking balls, and Nelly chased it a little bit, got into a little bit of a rut, but he got it back together after a short period of time, and now he's hitting in the mid 290s. He's already knocked in 32 runs for the Rangers.
Outman strikes out Marlon Byrd, but that big 2-out hit from Nelson Cruz has the Rangers on top at the end of 1. To Jim Knox.
All right, thank you, Josh. Hey, look who we found in Community Corner. Why, it's the Texas Ranger great Jim Sundberg on hand to talk about, along with his fan club. There we go. He always travels with that fan club. Yeah, they're real good. Talk about the upcoming Ozarka Alumni Golf Tournament.
Yeah, Jim, we got July 30th at Texas Star, and it's an annual event that we have with all of our alumni, and always sold out. And so we are encouraging people to try to sign up now. We've got quite a few spots that have been filled, a few left, but it's a great time. All the alumni are there, and even Tom Grieve comes out to play.
That's what I wanted to ask you. As a scout Tom Grieve's golf game.
Well, you know, ever since Tom started broadcasting, he's gotten better. Now, there was a time where if you were in either fairway on the other side that you were in jeopardy. But Tom has actually gotten better. I've played with him, and he is a serious golfer.
All right, that's good news. So, okay, July 30th, that's when all the fun happens. And again, where's this golf tournament?
At the Texas Star in Euless, and it's again, it's a great course, and look forward to seeing everybody out there.
All right, there we go. Okay, we want before that, Tom, you want to critique Sonny's game?
Sonny can hit a ball a long way, I'll tell you that, and he's got a really deft short game too. For a catcher, you wouldn't think he had such good touch around the green.
All right, he says you got good touch around the green. All right, he's nice to you. Okay. All right, one more time at the fan club. There we go. Okay, they're going to follow me around the rest of the day. Okay, thank you, Sonny. Appreciate it, Josh.
All right, Jim, thanks. Both Jims, thank you. Jason Giambi with the walk. And bringing up Kurt Suzuki.
Now, one thing about Giambi, even though he's only hitting .212, he'll still walk. That's his 28th walk of the year.
The bunt from Suzuki is going to spin foul. When the A's played here about 4 weeks ago, Suzuki was really the only hot hitter the A's had. And now everything's reversed. They got a bunch of other guys that are swinging the bat real well. And suddenly Suzuki is 6 for his last 40. The sun don't shine on the same dog's anatomy all the time, or something like that. Fly ball left center with the sun glistening out there. Marlon Byrd makes the catch. It's a very good idea to have your sunglasses on right now, right?
Yeah, from now until the sun goes down, really, probably, I'm not sure, 7:30, 7:40, that sun will be a factor. And right now on a fly ball, it's a factor. As it starts to go down, then more of a line drive becomes the kind of ball that goes through the sun, and a high fly goes through it, but then you pick it up when you look straight up in the air. So it could play a factor for sure.
Tommy Hunter puts one on the outside corner to Sweeney. When you're playing a doubleheader, I would think, Tag, the pace yourself mantra has got to be there a little bit. I know for broadcasters, we certainly try to do that. We got 18 innings at least, so pace yourself is probably a pretty good idea.
Yeah, this is when you have to count on all the work you put in spring training, that you're in good shape. And the regular players, especially for the Rangers, are all in great shape. They're young. They don't have any problem playing a doubleheader.
The Oakland A's are climbing up and down pop-up mountain here so far. A lot of baseballs hit in the air, not doing much.
Catchers don't usually play a doubleheader. I've seen Jim Sundberg catch a doubleheader before. But generally, the catcher will only catch one game.
There aren't as many doubleheaders, obviously, now, right? I mean,
none scheduled, really.
Yeah. The A's hardly ever play doubleheaders because, well, they never get rainouts in Oakland. The weather's always pretty, I mean, it can be cold, but it's never rainy during baseball season in Northern California. The Rangers and A's have never played a doubleheader in this ballpark. And they haven't played a doubleheader back in Oakland in about 20 years. High drive by Travis Buck. That's not a pop-up. That ball is crushed. And this game is suddenly tied 2-2. Just the third this year for Buck.
Well, if he's only got 3, I would bet a lot of money. That's the longest one he's hit this year. That went all the way in the concourse.
Man.
Like. There was no doubt where it was going. The only hope was that it hooked foul, but never had a chance to do that. Trying to get the ball in. And he got it in, down. But maybe not in off the plate where he wanted it.
Outside to Jack Hanahan. Take another look at Travis Buck. And again, the A's as a collective hitting for the least amount of power in the American League. Buck was known as a power hitter in his days at Arizona State. Same for Jack Hanahan at Minnesota. Talking about doubleheaders, Tag, when the Rangers first got to Arlington, on average in the 1970s, they were playing about a dozen doubleheaders a year. They played as many as 15 in one season in 1977. The Rangers only played 2 doubleheaders last year. There was a season not too long ago, 2006 in fact, where they played a completely doubleheaderless season. The 2-out walk will bring up Cabrera. Also brings Mike Maddox out, Ranger pitching coach, to talk to young Tommy Hunter. Of course, in college baseball and even high school baseball, doubleheaders are a staple. They're not completely foreign to players at the big league level, but in the minor leagues and of course in college too, those are 7-inning games, not 9-inning games. You play doubleheaders even in the minors. In AAA, those are 7-inning games. Once you're told you got to play 2.
It doesn't sound like a huge difference, but it's a big difference for the pitching staff for sure. That's 4 innings that you don't have to get out of your bullpen. For the Ranger position players, there'll be a bunch of players play 2 games today. They've had an off day yesterday. You've got an off day on Monday. So it's not that big a deal.
Orlando Cabrera, who had a real nice series here in late April. He had 5 hits in the 2 games. And the reason we're playing a doubleheader tonight, it was supposed to be a 3-game series, but one of those games did get rained out. Out in front is Cabrera.
Good breaking ball. He struck Holiday out with a real good hard breaking ball, much like that one.
Last time Hunter was on the mound for the Rangers, that was last year at Fenway. Gave up 9 in the 2nd inning. He's going to give up, well, only 2 in the 2nd inning this time. Taking care of Cabrera on the comebacker. The Travis Buck 2-run homer has made it 2-2. Home run to tie this thing up. This is game 1 of a doubleheader, the Rangers and the A's. And Chris Davis just trying to get jump started again now. I've unearthed a few stats that I thought y'all would find interesting on Chris and the struggles that he's been having. When Chris is able to put the ball in play early, real good things are happening for him. He was 8 for 12 this year when putting the first pitch in play, with 3 home runs. But when he gets in this situation, 2 strikes on him, somewhat incredibly, Tag. He's had that situation now 101 times, 2 strikes on him. He's got 6 hits, 6 for 100. And this is the 101st time he's had this opportunity. So figuring out a way to get something done with 2 strikes on him, obviously that's a big part of turning this thing around for Chris.
Well, one thing all the Ranger hitters work on during batting practice is hitting the ball to the other field and also a 2-strike approach. Whether you choke up on the bat, whether you try to hit the ball back through the middle, take a little bit shorter swing, make some kind of an adjustment to make contact. But like Rudy said, it's one thing to work on it, it's one thing to practice it, but once you step in the box during a game, taking all that work out onto the field is another thing.
Mm-hmm.
Whether it's mechanical, whether it's mental, whether it's confidence, or a combination of all those things. It's a lot more difficult to do it against a real pitcher in a real game than it is during practice.
Certainly not for a lack of trying, not for a lack of beating himself up over the results here. Chris does take solace in the fact that last year, even though he struck out 150 times last year between AA, AAA, and the majors, he was a 300 hitter last year with all those strikeouts. That is strikeout number 72 of the season. That does lead the majors by a bunch. Coming up in just a bit, our Dodge Grab Life by the Horns feature. Andrew Jones will talk to us. Well, the Rangers, and again, Tag, I mean, we're quibbling because, as we keep saying, the Rangers have the best record in the entire American League. So there are a lot of things to love about what the Rangers are doing. But they've got a bunch of guys that are swinging and missing often. They actually keep stats on that. Stats Inc. has a database where you can go in and look at who are the guys that swing and miss the highest percentage of times. And in the major leagues, the Rangers have 4 of the top 8. Chris Davis, Saltalamacchia, Nelson Cruz, and Josh Hamilton are all generating swings and misses at a pretty high clip. But obviously, and I think Cruz and Hamilton are the best examples, they're doing so many other things so well. You will put up with that stat.
Well, the one thing the Rangers are doing this year is they're pitching well and they're playing defense. And whether you want to focus on negative things offensively, the bottom line is what you've already said. The Rangers are 27-19. They're getting clutch hits. Their starting pitchers are pitching deep into the game. They've got a closer who hasn't given up a save opportunity yet. The defense has played outstanding baseball. And the bottom line is how many games you win. And right now the Rangers are in first place. And the guys that their offensive players all have track records of some sort, some longer than others. But everyone that's here earned the right to be here. And it's only a quarter of the season. So we'll see what happens as the season unfolds. Hopefully the Rangers will continue to play the kind of baseball they're playing right now and stay in first place deep into the season.
Saltalamacchia, a strikeout victim as well. I'll go through the at-bat here. Outman to Saltalamacchia.
That's a good fastball. Set number 6 right on the inside corner, up and in. He's got a good fastball. Looked like that ball cut a little bit. Came in on him just a little bit. But very consistent with his velocity, around 92 miles an hour today. Capable of throwing a little bit harder than that. And that's a really good breaking ball that he's throwing today, too.
And the fastball to start off Elvis Andrus. Bounce to breaking ball this time. What a great week it's been for Elvis. He's had his family in town from Venezuela. His mom and his stepdad and his brother all hanging out at his apartment. And here for every game. A drive to right. And near the warning track, but grabbed by Travis Buck to end the inning. 2-2 at the end of 2. Game 1 of our double dip on Fox Sports Southwest. By Geico Insurance, where 15 minutes can save you 15% on car insurance. And by AT&T, switch to the nation's fastest 3G network. AT&T, your world delivered. Underway in the third inning, the first game of a doubleheader. Josh Lewin, Tom Grieve, Jim Knox, our entire Fox Sports Southwest crew, happily bringing you the action from Rangers Ballpark in Arlington today. If you're just getting home from school or work or what have you, taking the dog for a walk, turning on the game, well, got 16 more innings to go at least. So get in the car, come on down. You got fireworks after game 2 tonight. And a chance to check out the first place Texas Rangers. They're 27-19. Adam Kennedy loops one towards third, no problem.
They threw him a couple of change-ups in that at bat. Both of them pretty close, but they were a little bit outside evidently. And then a good fastball in and jammed him. Kind of an unusual little semi-bloop line drive to third base.
And Tommy Hunter, as you mentioned, tagged the 54th overall pick in the draft of 2007. Mike Maddox is trying to get on the field here. Almost walked into the middle of an at-bat, as it looks like we're going to have a pinch hitter, and that's why Mike Maddox is running out there to make sure that Hunter is down with the scouting report on Bobby Crosby. My guess would be that Jack Cust, with that sore back from the other day, aggravated the back with that swing he took in the first inning.
He had a good swing at that pitch. It was a curveball that he just barely missed. He got underneath it, but watching him come off the field, it looked like he might have been in a little bit of pain. He kind of trotted off the field, walked off the field a little bit gingerly, but fortunately he got underneath that ball and hit a ball with a lot of hang time to the warning track in right field.
So Crosby to pinch hit. The A's as a collective have not pinch hit well over the last few years. This is early for a pinch hitting appearance. Crosby with one out in the third. And again, the Rangers relying on Tommy Hunter in this one. Matt Harrison is pushed to the disabled list. Ron Washington supplying our Geico quote. That rotation is going to change. He says, I've never seen a team start with 5 and end with the same 5.
The A's only have 3 extra men today. Not sure whether they'll change for tomorrow. They have 8 guys out in the bullpen. And so now with Crosby in the game, they only have 2. Landon Powell's their backup catcher. Rajai Davis is their other extra player for the game, at least for the first game.
On the ground to third, a chance for Michael Young again. Sings it across to Davis, who's going with the high socks. Maybe to try to change his luck today. We've seen Ian Kinsler with the high sock look pretty much since we've known Ian Kinsler, but Davis giving it a shot tonight. Did you stick with one or the other, or did you change year to year?
No, back then guys really never wore their pants, except maybe for George Hendricks, all the way down. So there was kind of a varying look, but for the most part you stuck with pretty much the same thing.
Matt Holliday flies to right. Quick and easy inning for Tommy Hunter. Still 2-2. 2-2 here in game one of our doubleheader, and the Rangers at the top of the order up in the bottom of the third. Ian Kinsler against Josh Outman. And Ian Kinsler knocks one over to third base. Hanahan the pickup. Well, Kinsler worked a walk and scored in the first inning. His first pitch swinging and denied by Hanahan.
Good reaction by Hanahan. Hard hit ball. Wasn't that far away from him, but it still took a quick move to his right and a nice play to get Ian at first base.
I saw something about Ian in the Sporting News I thought was interesting, Tag. They compared his first 3 years with Jeff Kent's first 3 years at second base. And I mean, Jeff Kent ended up with a remarkably productive big league career. Ian hitting for a higher batting average, more home runs, and about the same number of runs batted in than Jeff Kent his first 3 years.
Yeah, and that's not even factoring in how much better Ian is defensively and how much better he runs. Now, got a ways to go to put up the numbers that Jeff Kent put up, but off to a good start, that's for sure. Oh, that's why you bring a glove to the ballpark.
We've seen some really nice defense in the crowd already today.
Sitting up there thinking, I'll never get a ball.
No, we stay positive, and then
line shot right to you. Reach up and catch it. Sitting all by himself right there.
Michael Young sending one deep into left center field. That ball to the track, and Ryan Sweeney robs Mike Young again. He did that to save a game in this ballpark with an over-the-wall catch. Michael Young's got to be thinking that Ryan Sweeney's got something against him.
Well, I don't know that there's any player in the league. We don't see all the players all the time, but certainly no one in our games that has hit more line drives that have been caught than Michael Young. And it stands to reason when you're one of the best hitters in the league and you hit the ball hard and you get a lot of hits, that a lot of the balls that are caught and a lot of the outs that you make will be hard hit balls too. But it just seems like, at least early in the year, Michael has had more than his share of hard hit balls right at somebody.
Hamilton now flies a little bit more conventionally to left. Rangers go in order, 7 straight, sent down by Outman. And it's 2-2 at the end of 3. It's time for the Aflac trivia question. Rangers and A's tied 2-2. Game 1 of a doubleheader. Who's got the Ranger record for most home runs hit in a twin bill? By the way, I got to clear something up here. I mentioned that Ryan Sweeney made that great running catch against Michael Young in reference to a play that he made to rob a Ranger back in April. That was actually Kinsler that he robbed, not Young, taking one away at the center field wall.
Well, it's funny when you said that. I could kind of see Michael. I thought it was Michael too.
Well, I mean, it makes sense because of exactly what you said. It seems like Michael hits so many line drive outs. Who else could that have happened to? But
now that you mention it, I can remember Ian going towards second base,
right,
and showing the frustration of that ball being caught.
But you make a great point. It stands to reason that as Giambi's going to send one to center field here. Hamilton drifting back, and he's got it. Because Michael Young hits so many line drives, and in fact the stats bear that out. The last couple of years, he's been one of the big guys in terms of hitting line drives in all of baseball. If you hit, let's say, I don't know, 100 line drives, maybe 20 of them right at somebody. If you only hit 50 line drives, then yeah, only 10 of them on average would be right at somebody. So sure, it probably does seem like Michael hits more really solid baseballs right at somebody.
No, that's true just average wise with everybody. You're going to hit some balls that are caught. But I don't think there's any doubt that early in the season this year, Michael has hit an unusual amount of hard hit balls right at somebody.
Well, again, our good friends at Stats Inc. have a way of quantifying this stuff, and they say that your batting average, if you hit nothing but line drives, your batting average should be about 715 or 720. If every at bat you hit a line drive. And there are some years a guy will hit 600 instead. Some guys will hit 850 off line drives. And they say it all evens out, but it does seem like this year it's not even evening out for Michael Young.
Well, the other fact is the better the hitter, the more line drives you're going to hit. It's as simple as that. The more balls hit off the good part of the bat, the better the hitter. Guys that are hitting 200 or 240 around in there, they don't hit many line drives. Guys that are hitting 200 hits a year, 220 hits, hitting 300, they hit a lot of line drives.
A 2-0 swing from Sweeney ends up as a foul ball.
Yeah, those things are really hard to quantify. I'd love to sit with one of the guys that keeps those stats. How many line drives? Like, is that ball that was hit to third base? I'm not even sure who hit it. Let's see. I'll tell you in a second. That Adam Kennedy hit to third base. Is that a line drive?
No, it shouldn't be. It was a little bloop shot, right?
But yeah, but it wasn't high.
Right.
It was on a line. It wasn't a pop up. Is it a line drive if you hit one right off the handle and hit a semi-line drive to shortstop, or does it have to be hit on the good part of the bat? And how do you judge those things?
Yeah, some
and
points.
It's not the same guy doing it for every hitter. You've got different guys in different parks, and so they're good stats, but
they're not perfect because
how accurate they are. I don't really know.
Well, you're right, because there are some subjective measures in getting to that. You gave a real good example right there. What's the cutoff point where it's a line drive as opposed to a fly ball?
Like when I keep score, I'll put, if it's a line drive to right field, I'll put L9. If it's a fly ball to right field, I'll put F9. If it's a pop-up to right field, I'll put P9. And there's plenty of times the ball's hit, and I'll sit there and think to myself, now, was that a line drive? If it's shallow, it can't be a fly ball because it's got to go to the outfield, deep, fairly deep to be a fly ball. I can figure fly ball pop-up. But some of those in-between balls, you sit there thinking, I guess I'll call that a line drive. But wasn't really a line drive.
Travis Buck is now 2 for 2. Is your telestrator working? Because I'll show you what I do if you care.
Sure.
All right. I have no idea if you never use this thing, and I know you're carrying germs, so I don't want to.
I haven't touched it.
Tag's a little sick, by the way, folks. Here's what I do. If it's a fly ball, let's say to the left fielder, which is 7. That's fly ball. Normal fly ball, okay? That's a line drive.
Okay.
That's just me. And
but the point is not how you score it. Don't you have sometimes where you say to yourself, was that a line drive or was that a fly ball?
Well, I can, if it's a towering fly ball, it's that.
That's a good way of doing it.
If it's kind of a looping line drive,
I like that. Yeah. That's a good way of doing it.
I'm done coloring now.
But
Sorry about that.
If you were keeping the thing for Stats Inc., you got to make a call one way or the other.
I had some other ideas on what to draw. I'm not going to.
I'm going to get you an Etch-a-Sketch so you can play with it at home.
Boy, it's a real good idea.
At least your kids know what they can get you for Christmas next year.
Yeah, I was fond of the Etch-a-Sketch. I say was, but you're right. If you got me one now, Be all over that. Fly ball here from Hanahan. That would be the normal arc right there on a fly ball going in the old scorebook. 2 men left for the A's in the top of the 4th. And it stays tied 2-2. Flack trivia question. One Ranger hit as many as 4 home runs in a doubleheader. Flack! It was Al Oliver. Did it in 1980 at Old Tiger Stadium. He had to load up big time in Game 2. What a professional hitter Al Oliver was, huh?
Hey, there's a guy that hit more than his share of line drives.
Hit 300 or better in each of his 4 seasons as a Ranger.
He didn't hit soft line drives either. He hit them on the good part of the bat most of the time. Most line drives I ever saw by a player in one year was Julio Franco, the year he won the batting championship. Now that's probably a dumb thing to say because I didn't write everyone down and say he had 320 and the next guy had 275. And a lot of times your eyes deceive you when you make statements like that, but at least visually that would appear to have been the guy that hit the most line drives.
There is ball 4 to Andrew Jones. Rangers taking on the A's again tomorrow and Sunday afternoon at 2:05. All fans receive a Rangers cap. Compliments of Austin College at the Sunday game. 972 Rangers, the number to call, or go to TexasRangers.com. And the lovely Allie is modeling the hat. It's kind of, what would you call that, Allie? It's gray? Yeah. With the blue tee with the red outline. What do we have on the back? Anything? It says Austin College. Very nice. The Ruse. Very cool. All right. Nice hat. Thank you. Thank you. Sunday, 2:05. Allie will be here. We hope you will be here too. Nelson Cruz. All right, now fly ball right there. I mean, it hit really hard.
That's one of those borderlines. I'd call that a line drive, but it wasn't a line drive that shot off there right on the sweet spot of the bat.
I'm going to borrow your telestrator one more time. That's where I go. The center fielder is 8, right? I give it one of those. Kind of half and half.
Yeah. I would agree with that.
I apologize to all patrons watching at taverns across the country. They got the sound down. They're wondering what are the Rangers broadcasters doing? Check swing. Marlon Byrd is hoping it's foul. It is. Your handwriting's much better than mine, though, anyway. You can go back and look at your scorecards and figure out just, you know.
Yeah, generally, at least during a game or right after a game, I can remember most of the at-bats. And if I've got an L or an F, I can visualize what the ball did. You know, you get a couple days away from a scorecard, then I can't go back and do that. But late in this game, I'll remember that ball that Nelly hit the center field. It was kind of a semi-line drive. Mine hit well, but not real well. If he hit that ball well, for him, off the good part of the bat, would have gone over his head.
Well, there's one where the arc is a little bit more pronounced. That's a
fly ball.
Regulation fly ball there for Marlon Byrd. Problem I've got, my 4s and 9s are starting to look almost exactly the same, but I'm getting lazy 9 syndrome going. I don't complete the top of the 9.
Well, it's something that's pretty easy to work on. It's not like you have to go out and face a 90-mile-an-hour fastball and make an adjustment.
If that's the worst,
just do it.
If that's the worst problem I've got,
I think you probably can work around that.
Problem is, it's not the worst problem I've got. Chris Davis will take ball 1. Now, we were talking about the adjustments earlier that Chris Davis knows he's got to make to stay in the lineup. And even John Daniels, the Rangers GM, has admitted, in his words, patience has limits. You know, the Rangers really do want Chris to iron out the contact issues. They love his defense. They love the power. They're rooting for him to bring the things he's working on with Rudy Jaramillo in the cage up there with him to the plate. But I'm sure even Chris Davis knows that, yeah, at some point, if indeed you're on a pace to strike out 300 times, if the adjustment doesn't get made, there's going to have to be a change. This is the rare 2-0 count that he has had. He just becomes such a better hitter, obviously, as so many people do when they're 2-0 instead of 0-2. The Rangers have drawn a couple of walks in this game off Josh Outman. Their 2 hits were back-to-back with 2 out in the first. Andrew Jones an infield hit, Nelly Cruz a 2 RBI double.
Chuck Morgan had a shot at that one. Almost got his monitor. Remember a couple of years ago, one went right through his monitor?
I do remember that.
Got a different kind of monitor now, but that went in there. Dale Petrowski might have caught that one. Says, nope, I was drinking a Coke. Hi, everybody. Somebody's got to catch that ball, Chuck.
That play has to be made. Ooh, strike 3 taken. And the frustrations continue for Chris Davis. We are at the end of 4 in game 1 of the doubleheader. All tied, the Rangers and the A's. Aflac Insurance, we've got you under our wing. By Corona, official sponsor of the Timeout, and by Whataburger, just like you like it. Big Tommy Hunter, 6'3", 255. Born in Tuscaloosa, Alabama, the home of those Crimson Tide. They actually moved away to Indianapolis, but returned to Tuscaloosa to go to college. He was one of only 4 from the 2007 draft to get to the major leagues by last year. Most notable on that list, I guess, would be David Price. We all got to enjoy his work all the way through the World Series last year.
Yeah, you talk about young pitchers. There's probably not a more highly touted young pitcher in the minor leagues than David Price. And he was called up from AAA, and in his first start, won't have the numbers exactly right, but that sure got out of the 4th inning and walked 5 or 6 guys and had a major struggle. So it's not always easy for young pitchers when they first get to the big leagues.
Cabrera is out, and a support system, I would think, is important for a young pitcher. We go to Jim Knox.
All right, exactly right, Josh. You know, his Tommy Hunter's parents are back home in Indiana. They did not make the trip, but hey, his cousins made the trip. This is Nathan. This is James. And let's start with you, Nathan. When you got word that Tommy was getting the start tonight, what'd you do?
Well, we knew I had my bachelor party coming up, getting married in a couple weeks. I knew I'd talk to my buddy Jimmy here, and we had to come. And Tommy helped us out. We're glad to be here. You know, we're from Indiana, so I can't be more excited.
Mixing the bachelor party in with watching Tommy, nice idea. All right, now James, talk about Tommy as an athlete. What kind of athlete was he growing up?
Tommy was a very strong athlete. He played football. His main focus was on baseball, and obviously that's where he's at right now, is playing for the Texas Rangers. And this is my first time watching him, and I like watching him.
All right, let's see if Josh can chase this one down.
Well, that ball really taking off, and Josh, I don't think he really saw it all the way. This is going to go as 2 bases for Adam Kennedy.
I'm bringing him a little bad luck, guys. I'm going to leave. Thanks, guys. Thanks.
It's a different time of day, obviously, for a ball game. And later on at night, that's probably a ball that Josh would catch. But I think he probably did have a hard time seeing that ball, looking up and seeing the sun. Not used to chasing a ball at this time of day. And even at a night game, that's going to be a tough play to make. It's hit 405 feet, 404 feet right to the base of the wall.
A lot of running around in the outfield early for these guys, especially Hamilton and Cruz. Of course, Josh has had a couple of confrontations with outfield walls this season. One strike pitch to Bobby Crosby. Make it 0-2. Should throw out some good wishes to Tommy Hunter's cousin, I guess, for the forthcoming nuptials. Waiting for our invite to the bachelor party. Fastball missing up to Crosby. And again, Jack Cust was supposed to be the DH. We were told back spasms led to him leaving the game after the first inning. Crosby in for Cust. Scott Feldman pitches game 2 for the Rangers against Edgar Gonzalez. That game will start about half an hour once this one is over. Ground ball. Elvis Andrus tears after it. He's got it. Smooth as always out there. In the process, Kennedy moves to third. And a chance for Matt Holliday to untie this baseball game.
He struck out Matt in the first inning on one of the better pitches that Tommy's thrown today. A good hard breaking ball down and away. Got him to fly out to right field the other time up.
Good pitch right there to tie him up. Matt Holliday, who lives in Texas now, lives in Austin, but grew up in Stillwater, Oklahoma. Recruited by the hometown Cowboys to play quarterback. Holliday's dad is Tom Holliday, who was the head coach on the baseball team at Oklahoma State, now is the pitching coach at UT. He's got a brother who's a hitting coach at Georgia Tech. Got the go-ahead run at third, 2-2 game in the fifth. And the emergency starter up from AAA, Tommy Hunter. I think he's acquitted himself pretty well so far here, Tag. Remember his last big league inning last year. That was that 9-run inning at Fenway. Off the end of the bat, and Josh Hamilton under it. He has got it. The A's strand the man at third, and we will go to the bottom of the fifth inning here at Rangers Ballpark in Arlington. Rangers 2 and Oakland 2. Casting Crowns performing on the North Lawn before the game tomorrow. Concert begins at 5, then it's the Rangers and A's at 7:05. Admission to the concert free with your Rangers game ticket. TexasRangers.com or 972 Rangers to take care of all that. Rangers trying to get to Josh Outman here in the fifth inning the way they got to him in the first inning. They scored twice. Saltalamacchia, Andrews, and Kinsler coming up. Saltalamacchia not really approving of an 0-2 count here, but that's what he's got. We've got in the booth with us a guest as Saltalamacchia is down on strike. Steve Busby joins us, and well, as long as we're seeing some stellar pitching, why not talk to Steve Busby about all that? So Josh Outman has settled down pretty nicely.
He has, Josh, and he's the kind of young man that really is on a pretty good roll right now, and you can tell by the kind of stuff that he has that when he has command of the strike zone, he can be electric. I mean, he's one of those left-handers that maybe doesn't have the greatest movement on his pitches, but when his command's pretty good, he can be tough.
I remember driving around in spring training and listening to a broadcast. I think it was the Padres against the A's, and poor Josh Outman walked 5 guys in a row, and it just seemed like, oh man, I mean, they were still in the first inning. The game's an hour old. Not the same guy out there right now.
No, and hasn't been for the last 3 or 4 starts.
Cabrera hops over to it, plants, throws, got his man. Andrews is out number 2.
Well, the way he delivers the ball, it has to be a little bit deceptive for the hitter. He looks like he throws it right from behind his ear. And I'm sure they don't pick up the ball that well. He's got pretty good velocity, 91, 92 miles an hour. And like you said, Buzz, he's been pitching pretty well this month.
Yeah.
What are your impressions of Tommy Hunter so far, Buzz?
Well, I thought he's done a pretty good job. And this is not an easy situation. Although Tommy, if you're going to get called up, I guess, to work in a doubleheader, best thing to do is have it on your normal day of work, and this was exactly the 5th day for Tommy Hunter. So, and he had a good outing last time out. So it, all things considered, it could not have gone better for him, and he's pitched pretty well.
Coming off an effort where he threw 123 pitches, and that's pretty emblematic of what Nolan Ryan is telling everybody throughout the organization to do: is stay out there and get her done.
Yeah, and I think Nolan really is not suggesting guys throw 150 pitches every time out. It's, we want you to get through the 7th, through the 8th, through the 9th more often. If you start thinking about innings, in my opinion anyway, you stop thinking about how many pitches am I throwing and find a way to cut down the number of pitches per inning.
Kinsler smoking one to left field. But at the warning track, there is Matt Holliday, and thus ending our very quick visit with Steve Busby.
If we need to speed the game, just give Buzz.
That's right.
These innings go quickly.
He's the express. Thanks, Buzz. 2-2 at the Your game on Fox Sports Southwest is being presented by Amica Insurance. It's not just how you're covered, it's how you're treated. For more information, visit amicatexas.com. Game 1 of our doubleheader, and the always dangerous to the Rangers, Jason Giambi, taking inside from young Tommy Hunter. The Rangers starting 22-year-olds in back-to-back games. It was Derek Holland going up against the Yankees Wednesday. Now Tommy Hunter tonight. There are some power guys still around for these Oakland A's. We talked earlier about Matt Holliday, and here's Giambi. I misspoke, by the way. I forgot about Matt Holliday's dad, Tom, having moved on from UT to NC State. North Carolina State pitching coach now. A couple of alert emailers reminding me of that. Thank you, guys. And Matt's brother, Josh, has moved on from Georgia Tech. That I did not know. He's now at Arizona State. Jamming Giambi, and Kinsler is going to race out there. Hamilton comes in, and boy, Josh has been running all over the place.
They had to come a long way from that, because of course he's playing Giambi pretty deep in center field, and you know, Josh not 100% after the way he's been banged around this year, and he has to battle the sun too. He's got sunglasses on, he's calling for it all the way, but doesn't mean it's an easy play for him to make.
We have seen 16 fly ball outs in this game. Hunter versus Outman, the pitching matchup in the opener. Scott Feldman against Edgar Gonzalez in game 2. And again, if you're in the area, come on down. Fireworks after game 2. Towards the alley right center. This time it's Nelly Cruz on the run, and he won't get it. Kurt Suzuki on his way to second base. He's got a 1-out double for the Oakland A's. We go to John Radigan.
Yeah, Josh, we're tweeting again. As always, we invite you to be a follower of FS Southwest on Twitter. And today I'm tweeting about favorite ballpark foods. I know so many of you are refamiliarizing yourself with this great team, refamiliarizing yourself with this great ballpark. And I'll tell you, I'm going to give away my tweet, my guilty pleasure. My favorite ballpark food. Do you see these? The garlic fries.
Oh, that's good
my
stuff.
Goodness. And, you know, it's a robotic camera out here where I am at the Rangers live set. And Buzz is with you guys. And so it's a good thing because nobody wants to smell my breath right now, guys.
Ryan Sweeney in the right center field. Nelson Cruz fires in. It's going to be cut off. The A's lead 3-2. Back-to-back pitches. Some work in right center field for Hamilton and Cruz. Mike Maddox out to talk to Hunter.
Pitch up and away, and he yanked it into right field. It might have been a changeup, hit it off the end of the bat.
Hope you all saw that Twitter address. You're also welcome to email the booth. Got a couple of emails to get to you here, Tag, in just a moment. That address, if you'd like to get in touch with us, is foxsports.com. And then the keyword is email Rangers. So feel free to float your emails throughout the afternoon and evening. Got an email wondering, Tag, how does the money work for Tommy Hunter, assuming this is a one-game only thing? What happens to his paycheck? How does that go?
It depends exactly how his contract is written, but generally speaking, for a player like Tommy.
Runner goes. Good jump. Saltalamacchia's throw to second base is not in time. It's another one stolen on the pitcher and not on the catcher.
Take a good look at the jump. Got an average lead, pretty good jump. Tommy takes a little bit of time to deliver the ball to the plate. Enough for the runner Sweeney to steal that base. A player that's called up from the minor leagues generally has a split contract. A contract that stipulates how much he makes at the big league level, usually for a player like Tommy right around the minimum. And he'll make a prorated share of that while he's in the big leagues. And when he's in the minor leagues, he'll make his minor league salary, prorated share of his minor league salary. Generally, players like Tommy have a split contract.
Eddie Guardado starting to get loose in the Ranger bullpen.
It's rare for a minor league player, unless he's somewhat established at the big league level, to have a contract for just a big league salary that he would make if he went to the minor leagues. At least for a younger minor league player. But you have to make at least the minimum, obviously, while you're in the big leagues.
If you happen to make the start when you're on the road, you get your big league meal money that day. There's a huge disparity in that, the meal money that the guys get if you're a AAA guy as opposed to a major league guy. Let's just say you can eat really well if you're in the big leagues. Inside to Buck, 2-2. If Hunter can navigate through the sixth inning, I would think, Tag, the Rangers would be real happy to get 6 innings out of an emergency starter up from AAA.
I would too.
Buck is going to send it into shallow left field. Elvis Andrus galloping back. He can't get it. And scrambling back to second base is Ryan Sweeney. Nothing he could do on that besides hang out. So little blue pit for Buck, who's now 3 for 3.
Just kind of slices that little blooper. And in a pretty good location. No one could get to it.
It won't be 6 innings in the books. It'll be 5 1/3. As Eddie Guardado is going to be summoned to face the lefty Jack Hanahan. You got a lefty coming up pretty soon after that, too, and Adam Kennedy. So Tommy Hunter is done, and the veteran will replace him. 3-2 Oakland. We're back after this. Rangers had a 2-0 lead, and this is the first game of our doubleheader, but the A's now on top 3-2, and our Verizon call to the bullpen. Eddie Guardado summoned to face the lefty Jack Hanahan.
After a little bit of a slow start, Eddie started to throw the ball real well. His ERA's up there a little bit. When you have only 10 innings, it's tough to get your ERA down when you're just pitching 2/3 here, an inning there. But he's been throwing the ball well.
On the corner to start things out with Hanahan. Tommy Hunter got the first out here in the 6th. Then a double and 2 singles. 2 strikes to Hanahan. And the Rangers in the last of the 6 are going to have Michael Young, Josh Hamilton, and Andrew Jones coming up. Up near first, it's foul. For years, we have seen Eric Chavez at third base for those Oakland Athletics. But the injury problems continue for Eric. Some wondering if he's close to the end of the road now because of this last one. It's a guy I'm sure the A's would love to have back in there. Good for that clubhouse, and obviously when he's healthy, he is a power threat in a lineup that really needs a power threat.
Yeah, you know, for a lot of reasons they need him. The other thing they're doing is they're paying Eric a lot of money. He's making probably $10 or $11 million, and on a team that's got a low payroll, you're hoping to get some production out of that guy. Not his fault that he's hurt, but from a team standpoint, that's a slot in the budget that you're counting for production. And by the sounds of Eric talking after that injury, he didn't sound real optimistic, and I don't blame him. As much rehab as he's had to do the last 2 or 3 years.
This one popped up, and Elvis Andrus drifting back the infield. Fly rule's in effect as he puts it away. Yeah, Chavez has to be feeling like the last of the Mohicans here anyway. Zito, Mulder, Hudson gone, Dan Herron gone, Nick Swisher gone. Even Marco Scutaro didn't hang around for last year. But Chavez and that huge contract, still Oakland property. At least they have welcomed back Giambi. Here's Orlando Cabrera. As was written in Sports Illustrated, though, they were talking about Giambi coming back. They said, the A's once a maverick franchise not too long ago. Now they're pretty much just another small market club, beaten down by the unforgiving economics of baseball, is how the article put it. In the air, left field, off the bat of Orlando Cabrera. And the Rangers get out of the inning with a minimum of damage done. 1 run in. And now Young, Hamilton, and Jones coming up. Slam inning brought to you by Sonic, and the jackpot worth $500 plus tickets to a Ranger game and dinner for 2 at Sonic. Good luck to Roberto Garcia from Dallas. If the Ranger hits a grand slam this inning, we're giving away $25,000. Rangers trailing by a run. They have lost 2 out of 3 coming in. Still on top in the AL West by 3 over the Angels. And the early returns against the AL West, Tag, are great. The Rangers are 10-2 against their own. The teams are going to have to get ahead of head-to-head so far. They've really dominated those teams.
Well, that's a good thing. You like to win within your division, that's for sure.
The 2 losses have been to these Oakland A's. The Rangers undefeated against Seattle and the Angels. The A's have stumbled out at 18-26. This is not the worst they've been through 44 games. That was their 1994 team. There was 12-32 at this point. The Geronimo Baroa years. Young is out by a step. Josh Hamilton coming up in the Home Depot, doing more on defense. We talked about Ryan Sweeney robbing Ian Kinsler. That was back in April, and now Michael Young is on the list too. It's the kind of ballpark where if you are a center fielder with that kind of athleticism, you will be rewarded. The highlight reel will find you. Hamilton a foul tip, and Josh Outman's done a pretty nice job here, Tag, of getting ahead of these Ranger hitters.
Well, it's not a fluke when you watch him pitch today, when you see that he's got one of the better ERAs in the league. In fact, the 5th best ERA in the league in the month of May at 2.10. His last 3 starts have been really good. 10 hits in 19 innings. His ERA is less than 1 in his last 3 starts. That's why it was such a big thing to get that 2-out double to knock in a couple of runs in the first inning. He's been tough to score on. You can see why, too. That's a good slider he's got right there. Left-hand hitters have had a hard time against him this year. came into the game at 143. And when you look at the pitches that Josh has seen today, you can see why left-hand hitters have trouble against this kid. That's a good pitch.
He is tied a career high with his 7th strikeout. And the top third of this Ranger batting order now is 0 for 8. Breaking ball outside to Andrew Jones. Yeah, lefties are now, what, 5 for 40 this year against Outman. The Ranger lefties today are 0 for 5 with 4 strikeouts.
Well, the A's are challenged offensively, but they have the makings of an outstanding rotation for many years to come. Brett Anderson, Trevor Cahill are both 21. Outman's 24 and Dallas Braden 25. When you look at the Rangers and what they're trying to accomplish, the A's are trying to do the same thing with their rotation, and they're on their way. Those four guys, good stuff. 3 lefties and a righty. You know, and both Brett Anderson and Trevor Cahill are ranked very high if you go by the Baseball America top 100 rankings. They're 2 of the highest ranked pitchers in all of minor league baseball coming into this season. They're both 21 years old and they're both in the big leagues. They've had degrees of success this year. A little bit of a struggle, which you would expect from 21-year-olds.
They have acquired a lot of youth the last couple of years, all the trades they've made. They traded away 7 established big league players in a 7-month span last year. Got back 20 players out of that. All of them pretty much developing instead of already developed. Taken, and there's a career high 8 strikeouts for Josh Outman. He is working on a 2-hitter. At the end of 6 in the first of our doubleheaders, the A's 3 and the Rangers 2. Texas Ranger Baseball brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Book your next trip at southwest.com. Eddie Guardado continues, at least for now. Darren O'Day is ready in the bullpen when the righties are going to be coming up. Tommy Hunter, the right-hander, started for the Rangers today, went 5 1/3, allowed 7 hits and 3 runs. Certainly did not pitch badly at all, but boy, Josh Outman, since a 2-run first inning, has basically been untouchable for Oakland. He's piled up 8 strikeouts. That ball flicked into center. Adam Kennedy stays hot. He's got a 3-hit game. Ron Washington was on the top step the whole time, and now here he comes. Got a couple of righties about to bat, Crosby and then Holiday. So a guy who has been just terrific since coming over from the Mets, Darren O'Day, will be asked to come on right here. 3-2 Oakland.
And I think when I got to Philadelphia, I got on the phone and I started calling my mom and my dad and stuff like that. And you know, I already have a bunch of messages from a lot of people at the hotel that we were staying in and telling them congratulations of making the movie.
Andrew Jones grabbing life by the horns. He was in the big leagues at the age of 19. Became a playoff hero right away for those Atlanta Braves. Now Darren O'Day, who's quickly become a Ranger hero of sorts with that ERA of $1.50. Got one on, nobody out. And the drop down right-hander to face Bobby Crosby. With the runner going, there's a bunt foul from Crosby. Hit him in the box, so that's simply one strike.
Not sure what was on there. You don't see that play very often. Runner running at a bunt.
The bunt and run?
The bunt and run. That's a play you see in high school. The runner takes off, the guy bunts it, you throw to first, and he just keeps right on going to third. Don't see that very often in the big leagues. A little bit harder to pull that play off.
Young in a bit at third here. Well, the Darren O'Day story continues to be one of the best ones that we've been able to tell this year. A guy that was a walk-on on a second try in college at the University of Florida. Only after he started experimenting with that drop-down style. Another bunt foul. Can't imagine it's easy to pick that up if you're a right-hand hitter. That white baseball coming out of the white jersey. O'Day was at college not to be a ball player. He was pre-med. After getting through a bunch of biology courses, he actually was thinking about a career as a vet. Still has a love for animals, but has put the whole veterinary dreams on hold here. The baseball thing is working out really well. Crosby fouls it into the crowd. O'Day going from the sunshine into the shade. Runner goes. Wave and a miss, but no throw from Saltalamacchia. The A's not known as a base-stealing team, but they have 3 in this game now. They came in with only 20.
Well, they tried to bunt him over. Couldn't do that, so ended up stealing second base. Good pitch from O'Day. Give him a slider down and away. Fooled Crosby.
Adam Kennedy, his second stolen base of the game. Brings up Matt Holliday. He's going to chip one up in the air. Davis going over. Right near the railing. Tumbles in, makes the catch. And we continue to say it, although Davis is not making a lot of contact at the plate lately, he is doing a lot of other things to help this Ranger team.
You can see Chris come over. He takes a look so he knows right where the wall is. That's a new wall this year. We had a little bit more room last year. That's also a cement wall too, so you can't go into it full speed without risking an injury. But if you get there quickly and have time to get there quickly, then you can reach in and make that play.
So with the former Rocky Holiday retired, here's Giambi. I'm sure Holiday has heard by now the news that his manager in Colorado has been fired. Clint Hurdle given the gate today. Jim Tracy, their bench coach, takes over. Clint Hurdle had the Rockies as a surprise World Series team just a couple of years ago. But the Rockies this year 18-28. As they always say, it's easier to fire one manager than 25 players. Is that the first managerial firing this year? Top of my head, I think it is.
Can't think of one.
No, I can't either.
Which doesn't mean there hasn't been one. But
inside the Giambi, you've got Suzuki on deck. C.J. Wilson warming in the bullpen now. He had his big Guitar Hero event last night. We hear that went very well. Giambi draws the walk.
It looked like he was trying to throw him inside, and if he got him to swing at one and jam himself, great. If not, he'll walk him. Get the radio out.
Folks, don't forget on Sunday when the Rangers and A's are playing ball, it's a drumstick ice cream Sunday. Kids 13 and under get ice cream for just $1. Sponsored by Jack FM. Watching their Rangers in game 1 of a doubleheader. The ballpark's starting to fill up now. School's out. Hopefully you're out of work by now. It's almost 6 o'clock. And again, if you're within a half an hour drive, 40-minute drive of the ballpark, go ahead, change clothes, and come on out for game 2. Or don't change clothes. We don't really care. just like to see it. And the game tomorrow, too, 7:05 against the A's. In the air to center, Josh Hamilton turns around, drifting back. He has got it. We're at the 7th inning stretch in game 1. A's 3, Rangers 2.
the Mexican.
Rangers are being 2-hit, and they trail 3-2 at the 7th inning stretch. The Ranger defense has been so good all year. Let's check our Coors Light freeze cam. Chris Davis going in the stands to make a play. Rangers try to rev it up here in the bottom of the 7th inning. Josh Outman continues to do some fine work out there for the A's. And Tag, you know, we are trying to pace ourselves, and maybe that's why we're asleep at the wheel, but some very alert emailers have pointed out there has been a managerial firing this year before Clint Hurdle. Arizona. A.J. Hinch, right? In for Bob Melvin.
How could we remember that? That was at least a week ago.
Well, and A.J. Hinch was only a roommate of your son's, you know, I mean, so.
Well,
I know, we're both kind of.
You have a lot of confidence that you can say whatever you want, and if it's wrong, you will be corrected, and we really appreciate
we
that.
do it. We strive to be correct.
Thank you very much for pointing that out.
Nelson Cruz flies out. Getting plenty of emails, not only on that subject, but on, boy, all kinds of things. Thanks, everybody. Again, foxsports.com. And the keyword email Rangers.
Now, as they're emailing, do you think they're going, how stupid can those two guys be
Morons.
that they don't even know this? They talked about it for about an inning last week or 2 weeks ago, whatever it was.
All they get paid to do is know that stuff, and they completely blank
whatever
on
you're
it.
saying, we probably deserve it.
Asleep at the wheel here in the booth. Sorry about that, everybody, but thanks for keeping us honest.
We got the email.
The Rangers do not have a hit since the first inning. Andrew Jones had an infield hit. Nelly Cruz blasted a double. And since then, the Rangers have gone 0 for 17. Credit due to the former Central Missouri State Mule, Josh Outman, the guy out there that pitching from the sunshine into the shadows here has got the Rangers down to a very dull roar. The 24-year-old has already struck out 8 in this game.
Well, we're talking about the breaking ball that he's had today. It's been devastating to lefties, but it's been pretty good to the righties, too. He's also got a good fastball that he's spotted on both sides of the plate. That breaking ball, I don't know that anyone's put the breaking ball in play yet, at least with any authority.
Marlon Byrd is going to blast away, though, to the track, at the wall, gone to tie the game.
Well, he put that one in play with a lot of authority.
That might be the jinx of the year right there.
Yeah, that didn't take long.
Fans get a chance to do the bird. His Ranger teammates get to high-five him here. It's now 3-3.
And no sooner did the words come out of the mouth than the pitch came, and there it went.
It's been a while for Marlon. It's his first home run since April 17th.
It wasn't a terrible pitch either. It looked like it was down and in. That was just some good hitting right there.
First hit for the Rangers since the first inning, and now 1-0 to Chris Davis. Michael Wirtz in the Oakland bullpen. Outman not quite to 100 pitches yet. Here's that two-strike situation now for Chris Davis. And yet we talked about this earlier. The big issue for Chris has been the inability to put it in play with 2 strikes. On appeal, yeah, he went.
Well, for a left-hand hitter, when you're behind 0-2 to Outman or a guy like Outman, it's extremely tough because he's throwing a fastball with good velocity. Plus, it looks like a little sneaky, too. It gets up on you in a hurry. Throwing that right from behind his left ear. And then when he's got the breaking ball that he can throw down and away like that, that's a tough combination.
Yeah, if you're trying to turn around that 2 strikes stat, that's the wrong guy to be facing.
Yeah, no doubt.
That stat is now, it's incredible. He's 6 for 103 with 2 strikes on him. But again, I mean, you know, go back to the top of the inning. If he doesn't make that play on Matt Holliday, well, the A's have a chance for a big inning. Reaching into the crowd and making a terrific play with that glove of his. A Ranger fan wondering, Tag, what do we do between games of the doubleheader? Well, what are you going to do?
I'm going to race into the press dining room and eat as fast as I can, because I ate lunch around noontime and didn't eat before the first game at 4 o'clock. So I'm going to try to grab something real quick. I've got some stuff with me that'll keep me going. Got some delicious cherries, a banana, but I'm saving that for like about the 6th inning of the second game. That's what I'm going to do. What are you going to do?
Well, I didn't bring bananas or cherries to play with, but
you didn't?
No, but I.
What are you going to play with then?
I thought you were get me an Etch-a-Sketch.
Well, I don't have the ability to get it between games.
Saltalamacchia draws a walk. Elvis Andrews to the plate.
Now, did you eat a big meal before the first game?
I did. I loaded up. I carbo loaded. As much as I could jam in my face in a 20-minute period, I did it. Well, Michael Wirtz is ready in that bullpen. And indeed, there will be a half an hour break in between game 1 and game 2. The Rangers' first doubleheader of the season. Game 1 is tied 3-3. Here comes Michael Wirtz, and we're back right after this. iPod Touch with MLB.com at Bat 2009 features play-by-play video, highlights, live audio broadcast. That's being demonstrated by Jim Sundberg currently. Go to TexasRangers.com on your iPhone or your iPod Touch. Nolan can't hear who he's talking to right now. The fans are making too much noise. It'd be funny if Nolan was talking to Sonny right now.
Well, I know exactly how Nolan feels because I don't hear that well either. I can't. In the crowd, I say what on my cell phone about 100 times. till my wife just finally hangs up. So I've heard that for the last time. I'll tell you when you get home.
Can't imagine her getting frustrated at that point.
No, I can't either. That's what I tell her.
Elvis Andrus against Michael Wirtz as the Rangers have survived the Josh Outman experience. He is finally done here in the 7th. And here are the numbers glistening as they are for Michael Wirtz.
Pretty good strikeout to walk ratio. 20 strikeouts, only 4 walks. Opponents hitting below 200. He's only given up 1 home run in 23 innings. Good pickup for the A's. Whoa, boy.
That one disappeared on Elvis. Been seeing some fans coming to the ball games dressed as Elvis. I mean, not as Elvis Andrus, but, you know, as the original Elvis.
He's got a lot of potential.
Yeah, it really does. Ball getting away. And it seemed like everybody in the crowd was coaching Saltalamacchia to take off for second base. Everybody at least sitting behind home plate that could see that baseball scored away just suddenly started yelling, "Go!"
Yeah, depending on your angle when you're at first base, you can see it go in the dirt, but the catcher might block your view of the ball until it gets farther away.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Yep.
I could see somewhere down the road Elvis night at the ballpark.
Oh, yeah.
Everyone dressing like Elvis gets a break on the price. That would be a great night.
Start having peanut butter and banana sandwiches.
Elvis night at the ballpark. Hey, put that on the concession item for that night. Chuck can play Elvis music. Do it on Friday for fireworks night and have Elvis music for the fireworks. Looks like we got it all set up. Pick the best Elvis. You could get to meet Elvis after the game.
You're a marketing genius, you are. That's a strike.
Number 5 was in the strike zone. Number 4 was the one a little bit high.
On appeal. No swing. That's the ultimate thank you very much. Mike Muchlinski, the first base umpire, gives the Rangers another life here. Kinsler coming up.
A tough pitch to lay off of right there. 3-2. Good call. I thought he swung, but that was a good call. Mike Muchlinski called that one from way back there.
With a little help from his friends.
Yep. And a good job by Elvis, too. Good back control to lay off that pitch in the dirt.
Other Elvis passed away August of 1977. That was 11 years before this Elvis was born. Elvis Andrus was born August 26, 1988. Just a couple days after George Bush had received the nomination from the Republican Party. We looked it up. That night the Rangers beat Toronto on a 2-hitter from Paul Kilgus.
Paul Kilgus.
Mitch Williams on for the save. Pete Incaviglia hitting cleanup. And just to put it in perspective how young Elvis is. When he was born, that was a few days before the major league debut of Ken Hill and Gary Sheffield.
Wow.
Kinsler grows the count to 2-0. Pickoff play is on. Saltalamacchia back in. Ian hit one deep his last time up, but it was caught near the warning track. Three balls, no strikes.
Control not usually a problem for Wirtz. He already showed that. 4 walks in 23 innings. Make him get the ball up. Don't swing at that breaking ball in the dirt.
Takes it all the way, 3-1. Pounded foul. And actually a real good opportunity here, because the runners will be in motion. If Ian can get a base hit, chances are excellent the Rangers will break this tie.
Well, he got to 3-2 with Elvis and then threw him that off-speed pitch that Elvis laid off of. He had seen a 3-0, 3-1 fastball. Had a good swing at the 3-1 pitch. And we'll see if he decides to go to off-speed 3-2 to Ian.
Runners go. And Kinsler makes just enough contact to hang around. Kinsler had the home run in the most recent game, the one played Wednesday night against the Yankees. That avoided the shutout for the Rangers. Three-two. Down the line, foul.
Well, he threw him an off-speed pitch. Got away with it, too. He had hit it hard, but just pulled it foul. That pitch actually hung a little too much. That ball's out over the plate a little bit more. Might have done some damage.
Again, the runners go. Kinsler takes ball 4. Now, for Michael Young, as good a season as he's having, one of the really weird things about his season, he has not been producing as usual with runners in scoring position. 5 for 40. Which just doesn't seem possible because Michael, we all know, is such a great guy in the clutch. And a chance to turn that statistic north here at a big part of this ballgame. 3-3 in the 7th inning. Ball getting behind Suzuki. He locates it.
You want to make Wirtz get the breaking ball up or take it, zero him into a fastball, and get a good fastball to hit and drive it. Shade Michael usually toward right center field. So does Sweeney, the center fielder.
Michael, 2 for 2 lifetime against Michael Wirtz. In the air, right center, Sweeney back and over. He's got it. Another one of those hard-hit balls from Michael, but the Rangers leave the bases loaded. Hit 8-3, but tied 3-3 with these Oakland A's. Adam Kennedy has had a nice game for the Athletics. The Rangers not getting a lot of production from the top third of the order, but Marlon Byrd's got a home run. That's the one that tied the game. Now, a pitching change. C.J. Wilson is out there to start things in the 8th. Bottom third of the order, bunch of lefties. So it makes sense to have C.J. out there. He will deal a strike to Ryan Sweeney. That ERA has come down in a hurry for C.J.
Yeah, C.J.'s been throwing the ball well. First pitch he just tossed Sweeney 93 miles an hour.
Tommy Hunter got the call to make the start here in game 1, and he pitched well. 5 1/3 innings for the Rangers tonight. Only struck out 1, but he was jamming a lot of those Oakland hitters. A lot of feeble pop-ups into the infield. CJ had a fun night last night. His Guitar Hero event at 8-0 in Fort Worth. I understand a real nice turnout for that. Pours it in there and strikes out Ryan Sweeney.
94 miles an hour. Trying to throw it on the inside corner. Watch the glove. It's right there, right
Perfect.
on the inside corner. Jared had his glove, so the center of the glove was right on the corner, and CJ put the ball right in the middle of the glove.
It's a big game for Travis Buck. His 2-run homer in the second inning tied the game 2-2 at the time. He's had 2 singles since. CJ's dealing right now. 94 miles an hour.
Good sinker down and in.
In the bottom of the 8th, the Rangers will have Josh Hamilton lead things off. On the ground, Young can't get it. Andrews can. He'll gun it. He got it.
That's one where after the play's over, you're glad Michael didn't get to it. And that's a play. To be a frontline shortstop, you have to be able to make that play. Doesn't mean it's a less of a play, but you have to be able to go into the hole, backhand the ball, step, and throw with something on it. And there's a 20-year-old doing it just about exactly how you want to see it done.
C.J. Wilson throwing a lot of strikes here.
I'm not sure how long it's been, but it's been 2 weeks since Elvis made an error, too.
Yeah, he's making the routine plays. And he's making the really flashy ones, too. All right, here's a routine play. 1-2-3 for C.J. Wilson. Now Josh Hamilton and the Rangers looking to break a 3-3 tie. Bottom of the 8th coming up. Today's Ranger game on Fox Sports Southwest is being presented by Amica Insurance. It's not just how you're covered, it's how you're treated. For more information, visit amicatexas.com. 3-3 into the bottom of the 8th inning, game 1 of 2 between the Rangers and the A's today/tonight. Again, if you're in the area, come on down. Happy to have you for game 2. Here is Santiago Casilla, and kind of a weird thing, Tag, because Craig Breeslow had made it all the way out to the mound when the A's realized, wait a minute, we got the wrong reliever. We wanted Casilla, not Breeslow. Yeah, so
I was in the restroom. I didn't even notice that.
I should have just. No, I wouldn't do you like that. No, it is Casilla. We went to break thinking it was going to be Breeslow, but
so where'd Breeslow go? Back to the bullpen?
Back to the bullpen he went.
False alarm.
Back from whence he came.
Got his adrenaline pumping, ready to go, and what a letdown.
Well, at least he knows where he is. Casilla's a guy who, until a couple of years ago, didn't know who he was. He was named Jairo Garcia 2 years ago. Then it was discovered right before the 2007 season that Jairo Garcia was really someone else entirely and 3 years older than the A's thought he was. Actually, the Rangers knew that one too. Edinson Volquez was originally known to them as Julio Reyes. And once that all got sorted out, we now know Julio Reyes is Edinson Volquez. We now know Jairo Garcia is Santiago Casilla.
Shouldn't be that hard, really.
Well, the ultimate player to be named later is on the mound for Oakland and facing Josh Hamilton.
Well, if Josh takes one in the upper deck, they'll wish Breslow did come into the game.
Bob Guerin. Well, you're right. When the general manager calls, I meant Breslow. Well, my fault. Outfield real deep for Hamilton. He lays off a pitch and opens things up officially now in the bottom of the 8th. The Rangers do have a home run in this game, that from Marlon Byrd. The A's have one from Travis Buck. As you look at the Ranger closer, Frankie Francisco getting ready if indeed the Rangers can take a lead. Like that, 3-0. That is ball 4.
Boy, they weren't really that close.
No. And Andrew Jones will come up. As he steps to the plate, we step out for just a moment. Say hello to John Radigan.
Yeah, Josh, you were talking about the break between games and what you guys will be doing. We'll be doing the Rangers Live program, and we will have some post-game interviews for you. There was some question about that, but we'll be hearing from Ron Washington and Tommy Hunter at least, and no doubt whoever wins this thing for the Rangers, we'll be hearing from him too. While you guys are eating and playing with your Etch-a-Sketch, I'll be working with Steve Busby here on the Rangers Live set, guys.
We all call it something. Thank you, John.
Boy, Buzz is going to have a busy day today. He's got the pregame shows, a postgame show. He's doing both games on radio while Dave's away.
That is earning your money right there. The go-ahead man at first. And some big hitters up here for the Rangers. Andrew Jones and then Nelly Cruz. You know, extra innings would put a crimp in your post-game eating plans, at least delay them a little bit.
Yeah.
So it would behoove Tom Greaves' stomach if Andrew Jones can park one right here. Already Andrew's got more home runs this year as a Ranger than he had all last year as a Dodger. Crushing that one down the left field line. It is off the pole. Home run. 5-3.
That was a rope.
And you, sir, can get out your fruit.
Yes. on my table? Yes! I thought that ball might hook foul. As usual, Andrew Jones does something well every time he plays. He had an infield hit and scored a run. He walked, and now he's got a 2-run homer.
And barely. The oddly named in this sport foul pole. The foul pole is fair. And Andrew Jones found it. Just clipped it. Normally, one right down the line, if it does hit the foul pole, it's going to hit that screen. Not actually hit the upright, as it were.
Well, it wasn't Josh that hit the home run, but a walk and a home run. They have him wishing Breslow did come into the game. All you have to do is watch where the catcher's glove was and see where the ball was.
And there goes Nelson Cruz following up. Goodbye! They meant Breslow. They meant Breslow. Casilla gives up back-to-back rocket shots. The Rangers now lead 6-3.
Showed the instant replay of Andrew's home run. The catcher, Suzuki, wanted the ball down and away. It came up and on the inside part of the plate, and he ripped it for a home run. That one generally located where the catcher wanted it, but it didn't matter. Nelly took the low and away pitch out to right field. Andrew just
well, he elbowed Michael Young right in the chops.
A left elbow to Michael's jaw. Michael didn't go down, but he's stunned.
Andrew Jones is hitting everything.
Well, Mike's out for the second game. He'll have to get his jaw rewired. It hasn't gone well for Casilla yet.
Well, the accent has been on those last two syllables of his last name here. The Rangers with back-to-back home runs. Now Marlon Byrd gets a shave. He had the home run last inning. On the ground to third. And the tag going by. Finally, the first out of the inning. Let's go back to Andrew Jones cold-cocking Michael Young. And Michael will reenact it here for Kevin Millman.
Judging by the way Michael looks, I think that was more than a glancing blow, too.
Wonder if that'll become a tradition now. Every time Nelly Cruz homers, Andrew Jones finds Michael Young and just starts wailing away on him.
I hope not, for Michael's sake.
Now, for the fans that are just rolling in, say have been here for 5 or 6 minutes, they came at a great time.
I'd say the Rangers have made the most out of their 5 hits in this game. 3 home runs and a 2-run double, or 4 of them.
This is how the A's used to beat you just about 5, 6, 7 years ago, right? They were the masters of getting 6 runs on 5 hits. In the John Jaha era.
John Jaha. He came back and had a big year for the A's.
The 8th inning pitch tracker brought to you by Amica Insurance. It's not just how you're covered, it's how you're treated. Two and 2 to Davis. And again, initially, Craig Breslow was the reliever that came out here to start the inning. He was then waved back to the bullpen. They got Casilla into the game instead. Casilla has given up 3 runs.
And how good has Andrew Jones been this year?
How good? Ooh, strike 3 to Davis, and it's just, wow. That's another 4 strikeout game. Go ahead, Tag. Sorry.
Andrew has an OPS, on base percentage plus slugging percentage, of over 1,000. His on base percentage is .430 coming into the game. He's been on base 3 times in this game. He's walked 19 times and struck out 16 times. He's only been up 76 or 77 times. So 19 walks, that's a lot of walks. And when he swings, he makes things happen.
Saltalamacchia a walk last inning, otherwise a couple of strikeouts. Into center field. So now it's 6 runs on 6 hits for the Rangers. Still a save situation for now for Frankie Francisco. And Bob Guerin's on his way out. Retroactively, maybe Breslow and then Casilla, but Jeff Gray has been warming in this inning now too. They might go get Jeff Gray now instead. Jones hit a home run off the foul pole. Nelly Cruz hit one out. Andrew Jones hit Michael Young, and he's very sorry. It's 6. Rangers now leading game 1 of this doubleheader 6-3, and it's your chance to be an all-star courtesy of our friends at On the Border. Text OTB Party to 777-111. Enter to win a catered party for 20 people from On the Border Mexican Grill and Cantina. Jeff Gray was recalled from AAA Sacramento Wednesday, his second stint with the A's now this year. Made his only 3 career appearances against the Rangers last year. And he is into the game with some damage already done. The Rangers with a 3-run 8th inning. They got a runner on, 2 down. And the batter is Elvis Andrus. Gray had a 2.04 ERA out of the bullpen in Sacramento. And out of the Ranger bullpen, if it stays this way, if it stays 6-3, save situation, we'll see Frankie Francisco. Chop ball. Hanahan recovers. Close play at first. Andrus is out. But the Rangers have scored 3 times. Jones and Cruz hit the home runs, and now Frankie Francisco trying to knock it down and save it for the Texas Rangers. Texas Ranger Baseball brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Book your next trip at southwest.com. By Romano's Macaroni Grill and by your Texas Ford dealers. Check out the all-new F-150 and drive one. Ford is the best in Texas. The Power Rangers made an appearance in the 7th and the 8th. The Rangers drilling 3 home runs and now lead Oakland 6-3. And a guy who has just been rock solid, Frank Francisco, has pitched 17 scoreless innings. Actually 16 2/3 in his 16 appearances this year. The club record 16 straight scoreless appearances to open a season. Facing the top third of the Oakland order here in the top of the 9th. Those are pretty numbers for Frankie Francisco.
Tough to find numbers much better than that. And really, you go back into last year and they get even better. A little longer, stretch them out a little longer.
Yeah, if you go back to last August when he was named the team's closer, ever since they said, all right, Frankie, you're our guy. 28 innings without a run.
Wow. Didn't realize it was that many.
Actually, without an earned run. 1 run allowed, but it was unearned. 13 hits in 28 innings.
That's pretty good.
Game 2 follows about a half an hour after this one is done. Goodbye.
He's got so many ways he can get you. He can get you with his mid-90s fastball, and his splitter and his curveball are getting better and better. Watch this one. That's a big-time curveball right there. That combination of 3 pitches, well, his numbers say. That's why his numbers are what they are. Just look at his stuff.
Adam Kennedy, a 3-hit game. If I was Frankie Francisco, I wouldn't be making plans for anywhere other than St. Louis, Missouri during the All-Star break.
Yeah, I agree.
Kennedy, who was playing for the St. Louis Cardinals the last couple of years, will take one into the crowd, and as expected, the crowd getting bigger and bigger as we go. Got game 2 of the doubleheader set. Scott Feldman against Edgar Gonzalez. Rangers trying to improve from a 27-19 record. They're getting close. They got that 3-game lead on the Angels. That's the other team that Kennedy used to play for, the Halos. 3-1. Bobby Crosby on deck. That's ball 4. Pretty nice pickup the A's made getting Adam Kennedy. He's got a 390-something batting average now since coming to the A's. Adds a walk. He was hitting .280 at AAA for Tampa Bay. Dealt over for Joe Dillon straight up. Strike, 1 to Crosby.
Well, sometimes you have to go back to the minor leagues depending on the circumstances, but just like Frank Catalanato's a big league player, so is Adam Kennedy.
I saw where David DeLucci just got designated for assignment too.
Did he really?
Yeah, he'll have to go somewhere else, cool his heels for a while, but he'll be back. Same kind of deal. There's where that last one missed. 1-1
outside.
Wave and a miss at the fastball. Popped him up. Elvis Andrus has got it. One more out, and it's save number 11 and 11 opportunities for big Frankie Francisco. Rangers trailed 3-2 for a little while today. Then the home run bats got busy. To right field. Holiday finds the corner. And Nelly Cruz will get it back in. The tying man is going to come up. And it's Jason Giambi. Well, the fans were getting ready to celebrate the win. Not quite yet. A guy with 36 career home runs against the Rangers is coming up.
The fastball in, and Holiday just inside outs it. That wasn't a soft little line drive. That was a rope right down the line. Holiday had been 0 for 4 in the game until that double.
Well, that streak is in jeopardy here for Frankie Francisco. Hasn't been scored on all year. Runners at second and third. A little base hit somewhere could make this a 6-5 game. You know what a big base hit could make it. You do have first base open. You can pitch carefully, I suppose, to Giambi. Miles an hour. You saw Ron Washington looking on from that Ranger bench. How much batting practice do you figure he threw Jason Giambi all those years in Oakland?
Probably on average about 15 minutes a day for the whole season.
Fouled back 2-2. What, fastball here or something else?
Well, he's coming at him with all fastballs. He must feel that Giambi has a better chance to get out in front of one of his off-speed pitches than he does his fastball. We're going to talk about it just to make sure right here, though.
Ball game!
He went to the splitter and got the strikeout.